Welcome back to It's Life Loudly.
Where life is messy, imperfect, and worth sharing.
We're Dalton and Kristen Steichen, and we are excited to share stories and our experiences.
Ones that might inspire, motivate, and hopefully make you laugh.
We are not experts on this thing called life.
We're just here chatting about it.
It's life
loudly.
Hey, we're here.
Hello.
We're back for another episode. Sorry that we skipped one, but we said that was probably going to happen in all the craziness of the cattle world and
Yeah, we're on a little pause now.
living. What?
So we're on a little pause now. The heifers are done.
Oh, cattle world. I thought you meant we're on a little pause. I mean, we did pause.
No, I mean calving.
Yeah. I get you now. Yeah, just like that.
Heifers are done. Wait for the cows, which will be very soon. Ain't going to be a long break.
Couple days or a week or what?
I don't know. 6, 7
7. Funny.
days, not weeks.
What's going on in your world this week?
In the coming or the past?
Past, you're joy and hard.
I was calving.
It's all a joy and all hard?
It was all good. All joy. Went good. Or it's going good.
14?
We 14
babies. Just like that. No hearts. That seems like
It was cold. I pulled 3 out of the 14.
To me, that seems like a lot. Like,
It was
I feel
enough.
like...
It was enough.
Yeah, because I feel like you only, like... I don't know. I could be totally wrong on this, but I feel like through the whole year, you only, like, pull, like...
Yeah, but you usually
10 to
have
15
to pull,
calves.
You usually have to pull more heifers than cows.
Yeah.
How about you, K-Swiss?
My joy.
Your joy.
Did we talk about skiing?
No, because that just happened.
So, my joy is like when you're debating making a decision and then you know in the end you made the right decision. So, we didn't talk about the ski trip at all? We haven't been here. That was that just this last weekend?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, no wonder why we didn't do a podcast. Even on the days that we usually see each other, I wasn't home.
Nope.
So, story time. We woke up at the lake and it was like negative 20 some degree wind chill.
Which you knew was going to happen.
And I am... What? I didn't know it was going to be that cold.
Well, I did.
Like, everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be 0 degrees. No one said, like, oh, but wind chill.
The degrees
20.
was 0.
I know, but nobody ever talks about the wind chill, and that's what it actually feels like, the real feel. Anyway, woke up to, like, negative 20 something, and I am not a person... Okay, like, take me anywhere. Take me on any trip, on any vacation, to do anything, and I feel like I can hang with anybody, anywhere, anytime. Like, even if it's something we're doing that I don't like to do, like if I have to go with you somewhere, with someone somewhere, I feel like I can always just rally and hang. No, it's just because I'm so good at rallying and hanging.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm usually not. Like, if the group wants to do something, I just go with the group. That's usually how I tend to be.
Maybe that's a bad flaw.
Well, anyway, except when it comes to cold weather. Usually, if it's like cold weather, like I'm out. Like I don't want to join in anymore. I don't want to do the thing. I don't want to whatever. So we wake up. It's negative 20 degrees, and I had ski lessons planned for myself, and I had snowboarding lessons planned for our son in that morning, and I was just like, do we go? And it was kind of a rough night for some of the other people in the group. So like nobody was really wanting to go. They're like, no, we're not going out in the cold. And I was like, but we came all this way. And I was like, do I want to? And I was like, well, I don't really want to take our 5-year-old because I was like, and then you think of like money too. Like, so skiing is expensive. And so it's like, do I want to spend the money for what, them having fun? An hour, if that. I was like, I don't know.
But
so I was like, I'll just take one. So Jay and I went because I feel like she's kind of like me like that. Like she's up for anything, anytime. Like she's having a good time no matter where she's at. And so the cold didn't bother her one bit. And so I was like, hey, let's go try it. And I did my lessons and she just did her thing, kind of hung out. We were the only ones there. I've never seen that lodge so empty ever. And actually during my lessons, like I was like even getting warm. I was dressed and I was like, you know what? We're going to go get your brother. because I was like, he has not snowboarded yet this season, and like that's just something I really want our kids to like be able to do and look back on, and that we did those things. And so after lunch, we went back. We got some more people. Took a car full back and ended up meeting up with people from that like we knew. So each kid like had a friend. Just seemed like everybody from the Harvey area was going skiing that
You saw
same
lots of
weekend. We
people you
saw
knew.
lots of people, and still the lodge was like pretty much empty. I'm like 90% of the people in this building are people from where we live, which is just kind of funny. So I was just like, gosh, I hope B is in a good mood. And he did his lessons, and then after his lessons, he was kind of like, meh, like I'm over it. And so I was like, well, that was short lived. But and then he was like, you know what, I want to go back out. And I bet him and his cousin, we trekked up and down that bunny hill. I don't know how many times I had to like end up running after him, and he's just hooting and hollering and has his hands in the air, and he's just being so funny. He's just saying all these funny things like, "Mom, let's go ride that hill. Let's go do this thing." Like he's just like he was just pumped about the whole thing, and all the other kids were having fun. And by like 5, 6 p.m., like I'm like I physically can't feel my face anymore. So if I can't feel my face,
I can't believe you were out there. Oh,
probably more windburn than
was
anything.
it red?
Yeah.
Windburn.
Well, frostbite's
Because
red
you're
too.
going so fast on your skis.
Oh yeah, just gliding. Anyway, I was like, if my face is this cold, like we gotta go. So we were out there all afternoon, and it was fabulous. And like it was one of those feelings where it was like, you know what? I almost didn't go because nobody really else wanted to go, and it was really cold, and I almost was just like, eh. And it was just one of those things where it's like, I'm really glad
Can't be scared of the cold.
I'm just like, I'm really glad I just dug down deep and was like, you know what, this might really stink, but I'm going to do it anyway.
And it didn't stink.
And it did not stink.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible. So that was probably my joy. And now I have this video of our son just like
Dancing on
dancing on a snowboard and falling over. He was just so excited. And it's like that's my vibe. That's my vibe right there. The hard is like I don't love doing that kind of stuff without you.
I know.
That's my hard. Is like we're doing a lot of things lately. Well, I mean, forever without dad.
It's just the way it goes sometimes.
And it's just hard. But
I do a lot of things without you.
and that's the thing. It's like I could just not do these things. I could just not go to the places, do the things, make the plans. I could just not. But
That ain't fun either.
it's like we gotta move forward and keep doing life, even though it's not fun all the time. But yeah,
I was
That's it.
surprised more people didn't go out because I don't know. You all went there to do that. So if you're gonna drive that far, in my mind, I'm not letting some cold weather stop me.
you like cold weather though.
Yeah.
Well, the first night was hard on some people, and they wanted a more chill, relaxing day, and I understand that people got to
Yep.
do what you got to do, and I'm just glad that I chose to brave the cold for once in my life and just do the thing and
You in that word. Do the thing.
do the thing.
All the things.
Just do all the things. All the things, do the thing. You should get a T-shirt.
You should.
Say loudly. All the things.
Yeah.
All the things.
Merch.
Oh, we should get merch. I'm all about merch. So today we're going to talk about something kind of hard.
Okay.
And it might be all over the place, and it's probably going to have to be something that like we expand on in later episodes because my brain probably can't function everything and like say everything correctly and nicely the way that like I try to say things sometimes. But we're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
So today we're talking about the hardest job in the entire world. And
Ranching?
No. Sorry, I got you beat.
Farming?
No.
Teaching?
No. We're talking about the hardest job in
Staying
the
at
entire
home?
world today, and that is the job of parenting.
It's not a job.
What is it?
If dishes aren't a job, that's not a job.
The hardest, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. If it's not a job to you, it feels like a job.
It's just life.
Yeah, the hardest. Yeah,
I just think you just make it harder than it needs to be.
That's what it is. I've been seeing a lot. Gosh, I feel like I can't say certain things without sounding like an awful human being. And you know what? I think I just need to say them because Other people in the world I know feel the exact same way and probably need some support to feel that certain way. We have a huge pressure in our world today about parenting, about the type of parent that you are, about the decisions that you make as a parent, about the rules that you have in your home, about what you let your kids do, what you let kids watch, what you let kids eat, what you let your kids, how you deal with them in school and in sports and activities and in church and community and friends. And I just, I don't think when we grew up, there was that many opinions about parenting. Like, I don't think, did anybody like really know what other parents were doing and how other parents were making choices for their
Do
families?
we now?
Yeah, it's all over. That's all I see on social media. All I see. And maybe it's because I'm in my 30s now and so like everybody around me is a parent, but it's always about like here's the decisions I'm making in our home. Here's are the things I'm
I guess
changing in
that
my
doesn't
home.
come up
Here's are
on
the
my
things.
FYP.
Maybe it's moms. Maybe I should say the hardest job in the world is being a mom, not a parent. I'm just saying parent because I want to include you, but maybe I'm more
I
speaking
think
to
I
the
have it
moms.
real easy.
Why is that?
Because you're never here. You choose not to be here. And
Choose?
I have to be here a lot of the time.
Choose? I don't know if
That was a choice. Yes. Choose.
made by.
I'm not talking about the apartment.
What are you talking about?
Teaching.
I'm not talking about jobs. I'm talking about parenting.
I know.
So you're already starting off from the get go. We don't parent equal amounts.
Duh.
And do you think that that's
You what? You thought I was going to argue with you about that?
well? Do you think that it's only because of a physical distance?
Yeah.
Really?
Some of the time, yeah.
I don't at all.
Mm.
I mean, that has something to do with it, but I think that there is a huge pressure on mothers specifically to be a certain way, to do a certain thing, to check everything once, twice, three times, to run
I'm
the
not saying
schedules, to
you're
run the
wrong,
things.
but I think you are on your own level of motherhood compared to many other mothers.
Oh, sure. Because it's like if I'm going to do this, like you want to be the best one that you could possibly be because you only get one
So
shot.
you don't think the other mothers are being the best version
Others,
they can be?
I'm talking to like the other 80% of the people I know in my life are in the same boat as me, whether they vocalize it or not, of feeling an intense, insane pressure
Yeah, but isn't
of
that
being a
normal?
parent.
Like if
That's
we
what I'm.
fail at this job, it affects how our kids will be as adults.
I
Like isn't that a pressure on every parent?
Yeah, but I like. Do you really think that that was a pressure 20 years ago, 30 years
Of
ago,
course I
50
do.
years ago?
Yeah, there just wasn't social media for everybody to know it.
But what you did is what you did, and no one knew what you were doing, and you didn't know.
Just because somebody knows what I'm doing doesn't mean that's going to change what I
I
do.
think I think now there's certain things about like raising a family that we know better now. Like I think there's a lot of things that
So
our parents did, our grandparents
what
did. They
what
did
things are you talking about here? Like in the parenting realm, what things are you talking about? Like doing what or not doing what?
like rules for your home, expectations for your home, boundaries for your home, boundaries for your kids, expectations, responsibilities, how you run your home,
Discipline.
discipline, all of it, any and all of it.
Yeah, but that's all part of it. That's all given. Like if you're not doing those things, you're not parenting. You're
I think there's a
living.
lot of I think there's a lot of people that parent and maybe don't put that stress on,
But that's their choice.
right? And so
Some people probably just don't think of it as deep as you are thinking about it.
I think here's the part that here's why I want to talk about this is I think a lot of people think this deep about it,
But they won't tell
but
you.
nobody wants to talk about it because there's just this insane pressure to have a darn clue, and really nobody has a clue.
Or if we say, wow, my kids are a pain in the butt, I can't stand this right now, people are going to look at you funny.
Yes, there's this insane pressure to make it look like you. I'm just gonna say it the way it is. I apologize for saying it the way it is, but
Take it
sometimes
with a grain of salt.
there's this insane pressure to have your shit together all the time.
Wow, Mrs. Steichen.
And I think that the majority of parents
Yeah,
And
but
I
the parents are supposed to have, quote, their shit together.
and none of us do because I don't think real adults in the world exist. I heard this quote the other day. Real adults in the world exist. We're all just all figuring it out for the first time every single day. And that's just crazy to me. Is that we don't talk about it more.
And what kind of person
We
said
don't
this
talk
quote?
about I have no idea. We
Hmm.
don't talk we don't talk about how much of our lives are a complete hot mess every single day because we don't want to look at like those people that we like think like wow like I know there are so many people that look at me and they're like wow, Kristen, she just has it all together. Look at all of these things she's doing with her kids and for her kids and all these things she's doing in the community and all of these things. There are a ton of people in the world that think I have my crap together. And I don't have any duck in the line. And I just feel like I need to say that.
Say that again.
I don't have any duck in the line.
What does that mean?
You know, you have your ducks in a row. Like, hey, I have
You
my
don't
ducks
have
in a row.
a duck in
I don't know where my ducks
your.
are.
They don't even have a line.
My ducks don't have a line. And I just,
But you are the most ducks in the line person
I,
anybody has ever met.
yeah, from what it looks like.
No, you are.
Okay.
So you just don't have the confidence that you have your ducks in a line.
I just think
Your three little ducklings out there.
it's, I, I just don't think I don't think enough people talk about the stress and the anxiety and the
I think they
anger and
do,
disruption and
just
the
with certain people.
inconvenience and the like whatever that parenting brings to your life. I don't think enough people talk about that because I think every time you open your mouth to talk about that, it makes you look like that you don't like being a parent. Do you know what I mean? Like every time you talk about parenting in a negative light, they're like someone like oh they don't like their kids or oh they don't like it makes you sound like a crappy
Yeah, but you
person.
could say that about anything that you
I know,
complain
but
about.
it's more
It's a touchier
it's a
subject
touchier subject when you're dealing
with children,
with children.
and they're your children.
Like one person that I talked to this my sister. I feel like well her and I just like she'll just say whatever she wants to say all the time, but like sometimes that she'll text me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I am doing the mom thing and I am drowning. Like nothing's going right. The kids are a hot mess. The house is a hot mess. I'm picking up everything. I'm trying to like keep it all straight and in line and it's just not
So how
happening."
about like when these situations are happening and it's like that, why don't you just take a step back and be like, you know what? Today's out the freaking door. It is what it is. I don't care. Whatever goes today. And just start again tomorrow.
I don't think you can't for someone with your type of personality, I think you could do that. Somebody with my type of personality is never going to be able to accept that as okay. Ever.
Well,
And I think a lot of people
I
feel
think
that
you
way.
could with some work.
Maybe. Maybe.
Because that sounds a lot simpler to me than
I think it's one thing that I've learned as a decently somewhat young mother
we are young.
is I used to think and I think this came up because I've been seeing this a lot in the last like couple weeks, like well maybe even more of a couple weeks, but because I'm like in the 30 mom club, like a lot of the people that are my age right now, our age, are we're kind of in a different season because most of the people our age are kind of just like starting their families.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got really young kids, like kids just
Yeah,
being born, lots of like toddlers, lots of preschool age. We're in a little bit of different story because of just how, our kids
because we have a teenager.
ended up being, but I'm recognizing that a lot more people are going back to the whole like it goes in shifts and waves. A lot of people are going back to the more like stay at home mom, raise the kids at home. Um, whereas like I don't know how many years ago, like
Even
it
homeschool.
was yeah, even homeschool I feel like is becoming
Yep.
a bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know if it's becoming a bigger thing just because like I'm in that crowd of people or
And you're
just
seeing it more.
and I'm seeing it more or if because
It actually
like
is happening more.
like I feel like my mom grew up in or not even grew up in there was a lot more like two parent households, everybody going to work.
Yep.
And so one of the things that we often see online is the I don't know if you would want to call it disagreement in opinions on it or whatever. I'd like to just give more grace in that, like, there's so much of like, oh, I want to do what's best for my kids, and I want to do what's best. Like, I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure everything that I'm doing is best for them, best for them, best for them. I feel like I really used to think that way, and I've shifted my brain in the last year. If you're always doing what's best for your kids, you're not always giving them the best you. You know, I thought it was like it was parenting was supposed to be about the kids all the time, all about the kids, all about the kids, all about the kids. And I feel like this year especially, we're learning in our house that actually we need to think about what's best for the entire family. And if we have a parent that is not their best and is not doing sometimes what's best for the parent, then the kids are suffering because they are dealing with a parent who is not their best. Does that make any sense?
Little.
Like, I'm learning on how actually important it is as a parent, as an adult, to make sure that you do things to take care of yourself, not necessarily first. Like, I really think, like, yes, of course, like, kids need to come first and some of their needs and stuff need to come first. But sometimes what a parent needs, what a mom needs, what a dad needs in order to maintain, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Peace, in order to maintain your brain, your sanity, your in order to maintain all that, I think it's okay to sometimes not put the kids first. And I think a lot of people in the world in our online generation would disagree with that statement. And they would look at people who say that and be like, that's being selfish. That's being, they would just disagree with it because kids are supposed to be first all the time. And I think that that's something that our society has wrong.
I guess I don't know.
I think it is
Why do
okay.
the kids have to always be first?
I think that moms in their 30s have just been raising their families to think that way. That, like, you need to look at all of the options. You need to choose the best education system. You need to choose the best products that you're going to put in your home. You need to choose the best this and you need to choose the best that. And I think sometimes it is okay. You call it selfish if you want to call it selfish, to be like, nope, actually, today, this is what I need. This is what I need. I need to do this, or I need to go here, or I need to.
I guess that's how what I do all every day. Trying to get you to laugh.
Huh. Um, and I think that that's why parenting is the hardest job that I think
I think it's supposed to be.
you're ever going to have. And I think it's more work for some people than other people. I don't think it comes naturally for everybody. And I think it is okay. Like, I just know that there are people listening to this right now who have not given themselves permission to to do what they need to do in order to keep the family afloat. I think
Give an
of
example.
a couple weeks ago,
What do you do now
you
that
and
you didn't do before to keep that keeps a family afloat?
well, I think our kids looked at us like we were crazy when you and I went fishing together. We
Yeah.
walked into the house and we said, Dad and I are
Peace
going
out.
fishing. And they looked at us like, what? Now, granted, everybody, our kids are old enough to be at home alone. But normally, if we were going to make plans to do something, there would have been a lot of like back end work. We would have called somebody, we would have had somebody come over, we would have made a plan, we would have had food ready, we would have done whatever it is that we needed to do. Like, we literally walked into the house and we said,
Peace out.
we're going fishing. And then they're like, well, what are we going to do? And we're like, I don't know.
Figure it out.
And we left. And like, I don't I don't think parents do that a lot. And granted, if you have really little kids, obviously you need to make sure that there's an adult, there's a sitter, you need to put those things in place, which I think is why a lot of times people don't do things to take care of themselves, is because it's a lot of work to replace you while you go do the thing that you need to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, to find the childcare and to find, and no shame to whatever type of parent that you're going to be. If you feel like you are called and to be the stay-at-home mom, to be the 100% caretaker for the kids in your family, like, if you feel like that is your gift and that's where you were placed to be, do that. If you are feeling like you need help, you need childcare, you need to go back to work, you need to do something in your day other, I say more power to you and do that too. I feel like there's almost like two sides of like one is wrong and one is right about how one is more amazing than the other or one is the better choice than the other. I feel like
But
there's like
everybody's situation is different.
everybody's situation is
So
different.
I don't think people should be judgmental over that, what people decide to do.
I agree, but I think we as parents feel that even if people aren't intentionally. I remember having the conversation of when I decided to go back to work. I was I had been away from the classroom for 2 years and I felt so much, I don't know what you want to call it, guilt, shame, whatever. I felt so much of a negative something in me, the fact that I was really excited and really wanting to take a new job in the classroom because I know that there are so many people who would kill for the opportunity to stay at home with their kids full time. And I was given that opportunity and I didn't want it. And I didn't feel like that was the opportunity I was supposed to have. And that made me feel like a garbage mother. And I don't think I ever like verbalized that to anybody really, other than like, the one conversation I did end up having with someone who helped me
Oh, I
decide.
knew.
And and yeah, what did you think about that?
I wanted you to stay home. Not because I wanted you to be a stay at home mom, because I like you here.
And that was really hard. It's real like when you're making transitions and you're making decisions like that for your family, it's a lot of pressure because the decisions that you make as a parent, like you said, could potentially affect what happens for other people down the road as they grow up. And that's a lot of pressure. And that's a lot of like, am I doing the right thing? And nobody ever knows. There's no manual about proper parenting. It's
No
just like
manual about anything in
it's
life.
just like you wake up every day and you hope and pray that you're doing the best and making the best decisions and that it all doesn't fall apart. But when we did that and we were like, we're going fishing, and the kids looked at us like we had lost our marbles, I didn't realize how much more of that stuff I need, like in my life, like intentionality of doing things that like I like to do, either with kids or without kids. And sometimes they just figure it out. Like there's just such a pressure to be a parent and to be on all the time. One of my favorite stories that I have, so I follow Five Mary's Farms, is if you don't have them on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you should go follow them. It's California rancher. They they had city like corporate jobs, like he was a lawyer and I'm not really sure what she did, but they had a couple like businesses and they decided to scrap the entire thing basically and move to a ranch and start a ranch. And now they have this huge ranch operation in California with all of these other side businesses and side hustles and products and all of this stuff. But she says, like we were used to like having the life in town, kids going to daycare, kids going to school or whatever, coming home, having 9 to 5 jobs. And they completely left that for their ranch. And she said one of the first times we realized, like, like one of our rules is like animals' needs come first. For whatever reason, her and her husband were out with an animal. I don't know if it was calving. I don't know if what it was, whatever. But whatever they were doing, it was going to take a long time. And it was like supper time for the kids, and they like looked at their kids, and I think the oldest one was maybe like 9 or 10 at that time, and they had like 4 little girls. And she kind of looked at the oldest ones and was kind of like, "You're gonna have to go back to the house and figure it out." And they came back and like they had like tried to make like boxed macaroni and cheese or something, and she's like, the kitchen was a disaster. And but she's like, but everybody was fed, everybody got what they needed or whatever. And she said, and that happened a lot where it was like, kids, you got to figure it out.
And that's okay.
And she, as she was saying this, she was just saying like, she said, I think we need more of parents looking at their kids and being like, you got to figure it out. Like we're doing this, you got to figure it out. Whereas in like our society, I feel like we've been taught to drop everything that you're doing and go meet your kids' needs.
I wasn't taught that.
No,
I don't think so.
And like we
It
live
depends on the
like
need.
like we live in a
It depends
culture
on the need.
like if we live in a culture like if I would tell that story to someone,
If we're in
there's some
Medora and we have to run to the ER for stitches, it's different.
well, yeah, but I'm
I'm
saying
just
like
saying, it depends on the need.
if I say that story out loud, like, oh yeah, I left the kids on, they did the stove or whatever, and your kids are like 9, 10 years old, do you know how many people are gonna look at you and think that you are an awful parent, that you number one left your kids alone, number two, your kids are using the stove, number three, you
And
didn't
then
feed them supper, number four, you didn't
tell you neglected them or
right.
something.
And so I I just that story that she said just like always like stuck with me about like you know what it's okay to number one it's okay to not always have your poop in a group. It's okay to let your kids figure things out for themselves once in a while and not always be the primary parent that is on duty 100% of the time. And it's okay to go do things that you like to do, that you need to do, that you feel called to do, that in order to fill your cup so that when you come back to parenting, you have more energy, more focus, and you're a better parent because of it.
Yes.
And so that's basically my parent rant for the day. That I hear and see all of you who in the day to day are like, I have no idea where my ducks are. We do not have ducks in a row. Even though if it looks like to the outside world that you have it all figured out and you're doing all of the right parent things, because we're literally all just figuring it out day by day. Nobody has a darn clue. Nobody. No matter how many Instagram posts or whatever you see or whatever you hear, nobody's got it figured out. Nobody
I
does.
think you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Some days I don't feel like it. I feel like I am in the season right now where everything is fine. And I don't love that season. I don't really thrive in that season. But like where we're at, where our family's at, like fine just has to be good enough for right now.
Could always be worse.
Could always be worse. Like, do I feel like I'm stuck in survival mode a lot of days? Kind of. But then doing the hard things, do they have good outcomes in the end? Absolutely. Do I love being a parent? Yes. And I feel like we need to give more grace to people in their situations and not judge what others are doing or what others are choosing to do based off of like what they need because I'm just I've told a couple people this and people don't agree with me. Like I don't feel like I was born to parent. Some people in the world I know were 100% born to be mothers, born to be fathers. They were like they've wanted kids forever. They have that nurturing aspect about them that just makes them like good at doing that. I personally feel for me, parenting is more of a ministry, and ministry is hard work a lot of the time. You know, if you think of like ministry, if you think of like biblical ministry, um, in our church, like Sunday school class, we watch like The Chosen, which is basically like a video series that shows us what it possibly would have been like to be a follower of Jesus Christ and how hard it was to be a follower of him. Like how much that those disciples had to work and had to practice and had to like work on themselves and their emotions and their skills in order to like go do the ministry. And I feel like that's how parenting is for me is like it's a lot of hard work to go do the ministry. And a lot of times like when you were following Christ, you would get beaten down, you'd get ridiculed, you'd get martyred, you'd get whatever. And that's what parenting feels like to me. It feels like a lot of hard work, but in the end it's like I know that this is the right ministry to be doing. And so if it feels like it doesn't always come natural to you, if you feel like it's a lot of hard work, if you feel like you're not equipped, that's the word I'm looking for. A lot of days if you don't feel equipped, no, you're not alone in that. The majority of the people feel the exact same way. They just don't want to say it because people want to make it look like their lives are fully together and everything is polished and clean and neat. But it's hard work and I see the hard work.
It is. It'll get better.
I don't know if better is the word.
Well, they get old and move
It's
out
good.
eventually.
I think that's when the hardest work is going to come. Gosh, then we have to help them with adult decisions.
Nah.
And we still won't be adults by then.
Nah.
Oh, that's funny. I see you, people out there who feel like they're struggling to do the parent thing.
Means you care.
Yeah. And usually, if it's really, really hard to be a parent, it means you're doing a really, really good job because it means you're probably going above and beyond and you're not bending to every little thing and you have high expectations and you have a desire to make sure that your kids to grow up to be functioning adults in our society. The parents that it really hard days means you're probably doing the right thing and you're probably making the right choices in order for them to learn and grow and
Yeah.
be good human beings. So yeah, there'll probably be more on this because that was just like a jumble of everything that was going on in my head, but I feel like it needed to be said.
It was said.
I feel like there's some people out there that really needed to hear that it's okay to live loud and be a hot mess. And for your house to be chaotic and to things to be askew and for you to feel like you have no idea what you're doing because that's I'm not going to say that's all of us, but that's pretty much all of us
It's all of us at some point in time.
at some point in time. So, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.